Hey guys, Sarah here. Okay, I know it's been super long since I did a video and I'm really sorry about that. It has been crazy around here. But we're gonna continue with Tales from the Kingdom of Telidore. Woo! Okay, and we're actually gonna skip ahead to part 2. Yeah, so major spoilers. If you don't like spoilers, this video is not for you. Here we go. Chapter 1. Chapter 1, Sir Rawls of Deld. Roald of Deld was a handsome man. His broad shoulders and the perfect curve of his biceps were topped only by the confident smile he often wore. His face was strong and full of character, with penetrating eyes of a piercing blue that just now were turned toward his friend as the two of them strode lazily along the busy cobblestone street. Only Roald's nose, which looked as if it had been broken and left to heal crooked, not once but twice, marred his appearance. His easy air and the grace with which he moved marked him as a confident man, and the bulge of his corded muscles showed he was a fighter as clearly as the many scars that crisscrossed his exposed arms. A marketplace was crammed into the narrow street the two walked down in the fading afternoon. It filled the large square in the city to overflowing with shoppers and the ringing laughter of children. Aestus was the capital city of the Kingdom of Telidore, and Roald and his companion were two of the legendary guardian knights that protected the realm, which spread from the Aegyptus Sea in the south to the peaks of the Kabara Mountains and the Griffin Empire in the north. Rambling booths with small triangular awnings made the already narrow main street into a serpentine path that twisted and curved, alive with the shouts of serf farmers and merchants selling their goods, and the wary eyes of soldiers in the uniform of the city guard. Roald paused to let a cart go by, his right hand settling on his companion's shoulder as he pulled her out of the way of the splattering mud. The moment the horse had passed them with its wheeled burden, Roald dropped his hand. Lady Alicina flashed him a grateful smile, before picking her way carefully among the pottle before them. You know, I've always thought about how to define Roald and Alicina's relationship. They're friends, but they're more than friends. There's like this deep connection between the two of them that has nothing to do with sex. It's a spiritual connection. I don't know if you have a friend like that. If you're hearing me, are you hearing me? Okay, we're just gonna continue. All right, where were we? Whew. Protecting my skirts, Roald? How chivalrous of you. The teasing look she shot him was full of good humor. Roald turned and caught her gaze as her dark eyes glowed with affection. He smirked, his full mouth quirking up on one side. Someone has to uphold knightly behavior in this city. His companion gave an unladylike swat across the shoulder. Are you implying I don't act like a knight? Not when you're just like that, you don't. He had a point. Although only just 14, Alicina had done enough training that she was far more at ease in chainmail or armor with her magic sword about her waist than in these cumbersome skirts. Today she wore a blue silk gown covered in gold embroidery, and a matching cloak lined in rare silver fox fur was pinned at her throat by a heavy gold brooch. Her hair was curled and pinned atop her head, with ringlets that cascaded down her shoulders. A simple white scarf was pinned over her hair, a fashion that was quickly gaining popularity among the upper class. She had spent the majority of the last 8 months as she was now, disguised as her friend, Lady Alice of Elendor, a necessary deception to keep the kingdom unaware of just how fragile their current peace truly was. Well, don't make a habit of it. Although relenting, she swatted him again for good measure. I'm sure you'll get back at me next time we're in the practice ring. You left bruises last time that still haven't faded. Alicina smirked at that, and then slipped away again on the cobblestones and grabbed his forearm for support. He flexed it, grinning wickedly as her fingers slid apart as his biceps swelled. She glowered at him, but he only grinned, laying a steadying hand on the small of her back until she was upright once more. Her muttered show-off only made him grin. Then they set off again for the heart of the marketplace. As begrudging as she was to admit it, even to herself, Alicina had needed her companion's guiding arm several times on their short walk from the palace. Her feet, normally accustomed to sturdy leather boots, were crammed into tiny heeled slippers that teetered dangerously on the slick cobblestones. More than chivalry, it was common sense that had Roald's hand often pressed gently at her lower back as they stepped around farmers' carts and avoided the mud and puddles left by the rainstorm that had ended a few hours before. But that was just the thing with Roald of Deld, her first and best friend in Telidore. He protected her without seeming to consider it. Chivalry came as easily to the big fighter as wielding his broadsword, and he had done that from the age of 6, when he first came to her uncle's home as a fosterling to train an apprentice as a knight. That Roald had earned not only his sword, but also the distinction of being chosen as one of the winged guardian knights of legend just made that instinctive urge to protect and defend all the stronger. Alicina knew that in her bones, for in spite of her teasing, she shared the same sense of gut-driven honor and duty. Okay, that's all I'm going to read today because this is actually a rather long chapter and I think it's got a few spoilers in there that you're not going to want me to tell you. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you like the sound of my story. And you can get it on Amazon, you can get it on my website, you can get a signed copy if you want. It's totally up to you, but I would love to have you as a reader. So, click subscribe and we'll talk soon. Bye.